Oh, just straight.
Oh, he already going, bro.
Speed boost.
Oh, that's hard.
He looks crazy.
That's hard.
That looked crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
Yo,
tough.
Luffy looked crazy, bro.
Yeah, he looked
punched him.
insane. I'm back into the anime.
Yeah, the pacing was good.
I'm back into the anime for sure. Welcome to another episode of That One Piece Talk. My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Lionel.
Seb.
And this is That One Piece Talk, where we talk One Piece. Woo! Let's go! Today, we're diving into Crunchyroll's thrilling One Piece episode 1100. Marv is gonna put the video to your right bottom corner. And obviously you're gonna be able to see a little bit of the video. You're not gonna be able to hear the sound just because of copyright issues. And also we are gonna be covering it with something as well, as it's gonna be transparent. So it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but you'll be able to follow us. But if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video and catch our live reaction. That's basically it. Everybody been saying this episode's been hard, bro.
It's starting out with a Kainu, apparently.
Yeah, it must be tough to be a Kainu.
You just want to, like, punch people.
He always heated. His neck is strong, bro.
His chest? You see? Oh,
No, the
that
other
guy.
dude.
Yeah.
Look at him, bro.
Yo, who's worse at skipping leg day? A Kainu or like?
That random guy right there.
You think a Kainu access for a light?
That'd be ridiculous. Also, yo, he be burning through all his cigars.
Yeah, it must
yo.
be mad annoying,
He
bro.
gotta, like, work on that. Look at the Kainu giving respect to Luffy, bro.
Hey, they
Okay.
gave him the black and yellows. Yo, that's hard. I like that outfit for Kizaru.
Yeah.
Somebody putting respect on Luffy name out here. I like it.
Egghead is so colorful. This is hard, bro.
Showdown. The showdown effect.
Yo, this reminds me of, like, when I first was catching up and y'all were like, yo, when you see a sea train, that's when you know it gets popping.
Lucci looks pretty dope. Yeah, I remember though in the manga, Luffy wasn't that serious, bro.
I have to go back and reread
It was
all of
mostly, I
them.
think, because you know how Luffy gets upset when people feed him and they get hurt? It's pretty much that.
But the thing is, we didn't see this in the manga. It went straight to them.
They're already boxing. Yeah.
Luffy's already in Nika mode.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like, yo, pigeon guy?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, next like,
But he went
page.
Gear 5th already? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he went immediately into Gear 5th.
Yeah.
But we didn't see him go into Gear 5th.
Yeah, he was already in it.
Yeah, pretty much there, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Animators going hard. Luffy like, you remember I boxed you, right? He's like, yeah. What about it? He was like, I knocked your ass out.
Yeah, they really getting a rematch. How many years ago was that, bro?
2.
I mean, in real life, man.
Look at him getting pushed back with a regular non-hockey kick.
He's a
He
finger.
really be figuring.
It's a
He stopped fingering.
it's a recap of what happened last time. Remember?
Luffy looking like an actual fighter right now.
Right.
Like he's just not punching, like he's actually fighting. Yo, I love the Gear 2 stance, bro. It's impossible to
fire.
do in real life though.
It's
Like it's
I don't
so
think
hard
it's
to do it.
impossible. It's uncomfortable.
He said, yo, your shirt off, my shirt off, what's up?
He asked him about his
Trying-
poster, right?
You trying to hug? Yeah, this
Which
is
is also
this
cool.
is very interesting. This adds a lot of speculation as to like to go into his awakening mode, right?
Oh, what?
So he had
What?
the fuck?
Yeah, so, I
he
didn't
went
expect
straight 8.
Okay.
Straight monkey on them.
But it seems like he's losing himself. How come the sash doesn't turn white? Like everything else does, even his hair, except the sash.
You tell me, Mr. Sash, Pirate Crew.
So that's supposed to be his heart? That circle thing that we're just seeing? Inside? Is that?
Yo, this is dope.
Yeah, this is great.
And the hockey's being flexed again.
Yeah.
He should.
Okay. Yo, Gear 5th is just so, like,
Bro, I can't even tell what's happening.
it's such a different feeling, bro.
Yeah.
Chopper's like, yo, can I do that?
Yo,
Who said that?
ho.
Who said
Jinbei
that?
said that.
Really?
Did Vegapunk tell him already? No.
No.
No. I don't think so.
Because
Because he pops up when the fight's happening.
they hinted that Jimmy might know a little bit of it, but not
Don't
really.
Talk with who's who.
Yeah.
Jinbei can read the Poneglyphs.
Oh, just straight.
Oh, he
speed
already
boost.
going, bro.
Speed boost.
Oh, that's
bro.
hard.
He looks crazy.
That's hard.
That looked crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
Yo,
tough.
Luffy looked crazy, bro.
Yeah, he looked
punched him.
insane. This is interesting too that they're using so Luffy's was like super colored, right?
His is super dark.
Now his is super dark
Yeah.
and it's purple.
Oh,
Blue flames. Wow, I didn't expect that.
Me neither.
I thought it'd be black.
So this is actually the first awakening we've seen in the anime besides Luffy's.
Yeah.
Like, For Zoans.
which is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Oh,
black.
it's the purple.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like blackish purple.
yeah.
That fits it better, actually.
That fits
Yeah,
it way
Lucci
better.
looks dope, man. I'm not gonna lie. He like a video game character.
This is actually really dope.
Yo, who y'all got?
I remember
Change the
Sebastian
graphics
was like, yeah, Lucci ain't fast enough to just hit Blackbeard.
To take him out?
Okay.
Hey, yo! Luffy with a get through.
Oh my goodness.
This
Bruh.
episode is so much better than the Gear 5 episode versus Kaido
Yeah.
when he first turned Gear 5.
I feel like Egghead is just perfect for this
Yeah.
energy. Like the tone of this.
Because Egghead gives off a game like environment as well.
Why they whitewash Usopp like this? He's the same
Yo,
color
that's
as
crazy.
Sanji.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
First they did Robin, and now they're doing Usopp. Making
Zoro
him
too.
lighter.
Yo, he's paler than Sanji.
I wonder why people keep saying this though. Cause like Luffy doesn't have unique traits that resemble like
Yo.
except the white hair, the white eyebrows. I mean,
I guess it's just that jump pose that he does a lot. And I guess they said that he's all white. But like, it kind of shocks me that Robin has had zero like knowledge of this at all either.
But we don't know where the knowledge of Nika is. Like, cause right now it seems like it's only in Elfpath.
Bro, Jinbei straight up said the Warrior of Liberation.
But did
bro.
he say that in the manga though? That's what I'm trying to like figure out.
I don't think so. Because they didn't show Jinbei. Oh no, he did say think about your
I don't
position,
know.
Luffy. He did. So Jinbei was there when he said it. The slow motion was dope too when they added to it.
yeah, they trying to make it seem like
Yeah.
Luffy using conquerors. I feel like the translations are a little bit more clearer because this is directly saying devil fruits are made through the dreams of people.
Yeah. I think they simplify it more in the anime.
They
so
made
you
it,
can-
Yeah.
but in the manga, they made it more nuanced, and he was like, well, that's my theory. So
Yeah.
they might still do that.
I mean, he said it was his theory, but this one's like, nah, like this is actually what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the Boa Seraphim is like whitewashed. They look mad gangster, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Jinbei like, that's me.
That baby don't look like me.
That's not my kid,
Hush
right?
up, little girl. Yo, Vegapunk ain't.
Dang, we're in the. Did he say it like that?
You was broke for you met me, little. That's so crazy, bro.
Kaku like, yo, chill, bro. Yeah, I got that little Boa Seraphim. I'm not ready, bro.
Yeah, but wouldn't? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would you even remotely start that?
Why does that spirit look so gangster though?
Yeah, he's so big.
Yeah.
Pause.
Oh,
That was crazy. That was super crazy.
Tupac. So gangster.
So gangster.
I can't, bro.
Yo, the Rokushiki techniques are so dope. The worst plot device in this arc by far.
For her?
No, the issuing
chips.
of orders.
Oh yeah.
That's a hard ass
Yo,
picture
that
of the
was
elders,
hard.
bro. That's a hard picture of them.
Okay.
It's Sentomaru, man.
I actually always loved it when they did this in animes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is really good.
Yes.
Bruh, they going all out with this animation,
Yeah,
bruh.
seriously. This is
Even
the best so far to
slideshows
me.
is dope.
Hey, it looks like a movie to me.
Yeah, it
Little
does look
bit,
like a
yeah.
movie.
Yo, if they could get every episode to look like this, I'll be back, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
facts.
I'm so
Yeah,
serious.
seriously.
I'll be
Facts.
back, bro.
I'm watching it all the time.
This is amazing. Kaku's still a bum, though.
Lucci has always had a cool devil fruit. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just, he was just a pre-time skip villain.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
gotta
his
be
loss.
So aggravating. You're doing all this and you're just laughing.
And
in
somebody's
your
just
face.
laughing at you?
Yeah, just laughing in your face.
Like you running full
Stopped
speed
him
and just
dead in
hitting
his
the
tracks.
gut.
Yo, yeah, I remember when Sebastian said Lucci wasn't fast enough to hit Blackbeard, yo. I'd be freaked out, bro.
It was crazy to think about how
I was just
Jinbei
trying to
never
figure
had
out
it-
how.
And Jinbei never showed an issue with that with Vegapunk. Like, yo, Vegapunk, I ain't give you permission to clone me. Like, what the heck?
He know Vegapunk just following orders, bro.
That's how they did it. Okay.
I remember Lawrence used to love that, bro. You call him Axe.
Battle axe. Yeah.
They don't call me by my weapon. Caught you lacking.
That makes, see, I always thought the Sentomaru feat of not like, passing away from that was impressive, but it makes it twice as impressive now because Lucci is so fast.
She gone.
Oh, that's how they ended it.
Yeah. So I think it's only right we should not only rate the episode, but just say our thoughts on it. So I guess we'll start with Law. What did you think of the episode and give it a rating of 1 through 10? Give the rating now and then explain.
Okay.
Yeah, just so we don't forget.
Honestly, I really liked it. I'm gonna give it an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this might be the highest rating I given. Like, cause remember we used to rate chapters. The highest I've given it. I really liked the animation. It was dope. I'm actually happy to say that anime wise, I'm actually the episode right before here. So
You caught up? Wow.
So you just caught up here.
Well, how have you been enjoying Egghead overall?
No, it's good. I like it a lot. I like how they did the showdown with Rob and Luffy, because in the manga we just saw them already scrapping. Like, it kind of seemed like they already started the fight. We didn't even see the beginning of their fight. But this one here, it made me think of like, this is, you know, Luffy's the toughest opponent Luffy fought 2 years ago, right? At that time, right? And now it's like both of them grew. It was like a serious matter. It gave it back to like, all right, remember who I was, like Rob Lucci. Like, you barely got past me. Let's see how far you grow now, because I've grown, right? And now we see it went from like Luffy's toughest fight for 2 years ago to Luffy, I'm just playing with you. You know, showing how much Luffy grew in this span of 2 years. Or Rob was like, I grew too, but like nowhere near the rate that I have.
Yeah.
You know, so showing the lead that Luffy's taken against people that used to be his rivals. You know, so I like that aspect, and the way they showed Nika's animation wise with his conquers and everything. Because before it seemed like it was missing, what later on what we seen in the manga, but they're showing it here in the anime, which was dope to me. There's a few things that, like we mentioned before, about I don't remember Jinbei recognizing that. You know,
Yeah, I gotta go back and.
it could be tied to again that why.
I think it's like chapter 1062 or something like that.
Yeah. It could be go back to why who was even asking Jinbei in the first place. The why he would know who that is and everything. One thing I want to add, I thought it was interesting how they keep, like you mentioned it, right? They keep going back to like Luffy resembling a god, you know, a god. And it's Nika, right? The warrior of liberation, sun god Nika, right? But then they go back to that figure with the 2 spears, right? So I'm thinking, all right, the only thing that must resemble that, what I was thinking is, you know, the white hair, the eyebrows, the all white, and the cloak. But that figure of Nika doesn't have the cloak that Luffy has. So now it made me think, is that just separate because he's an ability user? We don't know exactly the dynamics of like what separates Nika and the fruit, right? Was Nika always a fruit, or was it like he was the a god in One Piece, and then it manifested to because the people needed a warrior liberation, they kept wishing them around. Going back to like my whole theory about what the other Gore say and everything, you know? But I think it's interesting where Luffy has a cloak, but the figure where everyone's recognizing that from doesn't have that white cloak around Nika, but he has the 2 spears, you know?
I thought it was phenomenal, actually.
What's your number?
I'm borderline saying actually almost a 10 out of 10.
Okay. Explain why you think that.
Because honestly, I was thinking of even the pacing they had it. Like, they added little things, but it didn't really take away from the actual show. And it was small. Like, even though they had Luffy, we go into the manga, we saw, like, Luffy did get upset that Rob Lucci hit Alice. And he said that they gave us a lot of food, or plenty of food. The next panel, you have, like, you know, they go back to Marines with Akainu talking to them. Then the next scene, going back to Egghead, they're already fighting. Luffy's already in Gear 5th. That build-up was pretty cool. But again, it was small. But then I know they added more to the fight, but they didn't take away the whole episode. Like, everything to me was fluent. It wasn't like, this is dragging, or you're adding too much of this. Like, how they do it.
It was good. It was well paced.
Yeah, and that's why I really like well-paced One Piece is one of the best. Especially how you do it, the choreography of the fights and the graphics. To me, I've like, this is the best so far. I've been watching Wano a little bit, like, so I gotta compare it to like back then, because I know some scenes in Wano were phenomenal. But, like, I don't remember if I saw a pacing this good in Wano yet. Because it was almost identical to how they had it in the manga. Almost. Yeah. Like, it wasn't, again, the stuff they added wasn't too much where you're taking away from what we actually saw. So that's, I'm like, this is so far the best one I saw. Going to previously, from the other animes, you know. But, this again, I love it, again, it looked like a movie to me. Like, the graphics were so crisp. And plus, again, how it felt. I know One Piece does that weird, like, the graphics can be crisp here, then when they're fighting, it looks weird. Like, a weird, like, it went to a little, we did see a little bit of the graphics and where we hated.
Yeah, when Kaku was flying down.
Or when Luffy was at one point, like, in Gear 5th, like, bouncing around, it got that weird, floppy, like, weird anime. Which, it does bother me, but, like, it didn't bother me that much, because, again, how they did it, and it wasn't prolonged. It wasn't the whole episode. Yeah. So, like, to me, again, the action, everything was great to me. It was one of the best anime episodes I saw so far.
Seb?
I gotta go with a 9.5. I did really enjoy the episode. I don't think it's a 10 out of a 10, right? But it was great. I love the setup, right? So, like, a lot of times, One Piece, especially in Wano, chapters bounce around a lot. Like episodes bounce around to different things that are happening on the island a lot. Everything that happened in this episode was focused on Luffy versus Lucci. The setup with Akainu, hearing about where they're going, what's happening, what's the situation, giving us the foreshadowing that Kizaru was coming, and like they showed Kizaru. I thought that was dope. Kizaru wasn't shown in the manga to be coming. They just said his name. I thought that was cool. And like Larry said, he had the black and yellow on. It had that buildup. Don't let Lucci fight Luffy. That was the whole thing. But everybody, obviously, we're watching, we read it, we know they're gonna fight. But I like that they made this the focal point of the episode and made it the focal point of what was gonna happen in the way that they highlighted it. The Jinbei Warrior of Liberation thing threw me for a loop. Because I was like, I know he didn't say that. Like, I know he didn't say that. Because it would have been a much, much, much bigger thing when the chapter dropped that Jinbei knew who the hell the Warrior of Liberation is.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I remember discussing this chapter and reading it several times.
For those that don't know, One Piece chapter 1069.
Yeah.
That's the chapter that this episode is based on.
Jinbei ain't say that, bro.
Yeah, he didn't say that at all.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
You can't nitpick that. Yeah, it's not worth nitpicking.
It was something to note. Like, I was like, wait, what? That was crazy.
They would have made the story of Fishman more interesting.
Yeah, which is possible. Jinbei could be very knowledgeable of these things. We've had that conversation on the Discord before and even in our YouTube chat. But overall, I liked the transformation. I think what works with Gear 5th is like, we just talked about it, right? The tension that we saw with Wano. Gear 5th kind of shifted the tone so drastically in one direction. So far, Egghead has just been in this kind of playful, joyous thing where I think it works better here. And like, you're able to do, like, they did filler stuff here. They added scenes, they added pieces to the fight that weren't here, which you're always gonna do. I feel like it works even more when the tone of the arc is also that. This fits out of straight of a video game. When I saw Lucci transform. Lucci transformation was fire as well.
Yeah.
Like, but the Nika stuff, like with the heart beating.
Yeah.
Even the build-up, right? Because in the manga, Luffy's just in Gear 5th. I liked having them have this little rematch. They have the little spar. Like Larry brought it up, Luffy looked like an actual fighter in the pocket, exchanging and stuff. Similar to what it looked like way, way, way back when it was, yo, I'm fighting Lucci in the pocket. Remember, my favorite version of that fight was the base. Luffy versus Lucci in base. They say all the time, Gear 2 is fire, Gear 3 was great, whatever. But them fighting when they were both base was the best part of that fight. They did that a little bit here, right? I thought that was cool. It wasn't the same. It's not the same, but it was never going to be the same. And then Lucci has his little, like, yo, what's that? What is that? You look different in your bounty poster. And everybody keeps saying that when they say Luffy because they've seen Luffy before. He doesn't look anything like that. And then it's like, yo, Luffy has that reaction. Oh, you want to see it? I thought it was funny, and I thought it was like genuine. Like, oh, like Luffy wants to be in Gear 5th. Like he used the opportunity. Oh, bet. I know I can beat Lucci without using that. The feel it. It's a little weird. Are we gonna get that every time? I kind of hope not. This is some of the stuff that detracted a little bit for me, like with the episode. Like, as cool as that scene was to see visually, it made me think, like, take myself out of the episode. Yo, are we gonna have Luffy ask to feel the heartbeat every time he goes into Gear 5th? That won't work well for me over time. The fight scenes were dope. I didn't have the issue with the graphics change that y'all did. I thought it was funny. I thought it worked with the quirkiness and the wackiness. Luffy telling Lucci to kiss his ass. I thought that was funny. Larry brought it. He had the cake on him. Lucci chasing him throughout Egghead. Yeah. Them hitting the buildings and hitting the different structures. And then, like, the Straw Hats reacting. I thought it was done really well. Like, Vegapunk hearing it, going in there to give his speech about, like, where Delphins come from. Yeah, the White Warrior and everything. I thought that was dope. And we mentioned it, like, them talking about the hierarchy when they were doing that. Like, even that slideshow was really, really cool. Like, normally they would just, like, show that in there. You know, like, they would shoehorn it. It would look weird. I thought they all looked great. We were like, oh, the Gorosei looked fire when they popped up on screen. Vegapunks looked fire.
They look like Death Row Records.
Yeah, it was yo, come sign in the world government. You know what I'm saying? You get yourself a hierarchy chip. Get yourself a Seraphim. The Seraphim looked dope. When we saw them, overall, I really did like it. I wish I would have been able to, like, I need to see the still pictures. Because I know, based off the people who animated this, there's going to be some references to other stuff. I'm pretty sure I saw online already that, like, one of their clashes, like, in the still frames, it has the panel of Luffy clashing with Lucci. I gotta see it. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. I really did enjoy it. I really did. I do think for it to be a 10 out of 10, like, my 10 out of 10 episodes are like Robin saying she want to live. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. More sentimental, more deeper.
Like, I read One Piece for the fights and stuff, but I read it for the story. And ultimately, this is still Luffy fighting Lucci again.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to downplay it to that, but it is that.
Yeah.
Luffy wasn't serious. There was no actual stakes here.
Yeah.
Santomaru got the stakes pretty later, but for a One Piece 10 out of 10 episode, it's either got to be absolutely hilarious throughout, like old school One Piece used to be, or it's got to have some real deeper, like, meaning to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give it a 9.5, man. I really did like it though. I did.
All right.
And again, if this is what they do producing, I'm back in. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. If this is what we can get, I just don't think we can get this consistently.
Yeah.
From the anime, from Toei. But they did a great job.
Yeah. 9.3.
Okay.
9.3. I thought I was gonna have the highest score. I really did.
You have the lowest score, actually.
Do I?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Lawrence has an 8.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I got a 9.3 because, honestly, if I wasn't aware of the story, I probably would have gave it a 10 or an 11. Reason being, we got devil fruits announced. We know where devil fruits come from. When there was a huge debate during the manga community when it was happening, and you guys remember, people kept using the words desires and other synonyms of that nature, but it was never stated as purely dreams. So Vegapunk basically said, my theory is that dreams from people make devil fruits. That's what it is. We had, the couple of the people that translate illegally, and then we had the official translation, and it was always a back and forth about it. We wanted to know what it actually was. Like, what did Vegapunk actually say? And I think that's so important for, like, a person who's just watching the anime. They're probably blown out of their mind. They're like, what? Devil fruits come from where?
Yeah.
How? That was exciting for me. I looked at it from that perspective. I love seeing Akainu. I love seeing him frustrated in motion. I think it's different when he's frustrated on panel, because you're like, yeah, he's just frustrated. But we don't really see his frustration because you're not seeing the body information, right? Like, we're not reading his body movement. But he looks like he's frustrated.
Yeah.
Every time we see Akainu on screen, he crushing a cigar. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty dope to see him. I loved the pre-fight into the actual scrapping with Luffy and 𝗠𝐿. I'm not a big fan of 𝗠𝐿. I've been told y'all. But when 𝗠𝐿 was scrapping, he looks cool. He looks like he deserves to be where he is. And most of all, it brought back that, like, Naruto fighting, like, animation for me and the quality fluid movement. Where, like, you remember, like, Sasuke versus Orochimaru or Obito versus, like, Kakashi, or Sasuke versus Naruto. I feel like I got a little bit of that with normal Luffy, normal 𝗠𝐿, just scrapping with the hands, giving us a callback to when they were in the pocket and Luffy was doing Gatling gun and 𝗠𝐿 was doing his finger pistols. Like, we got that recreated in this animation, and I'm like, bro, this is fire. For me, I was enjoying that because I love fluid animation like that.
Yeah.
I love callbacks like that. Like, when Luffy was going into, like, his devil fruit and he was trying to remember that feeling, it brought me back to when, like, Zoro was in Alabasta. And he was, like, trying to remember that feeling of trying to find the sword, but also remembering trying to cut Mr. One. It made me think about the theories that we've come up with, right? Like, how deep into the devil fruit do you have to go? Is it this source of information you're pulling from now where it's like, how deep do I gotta go into this devil fruit? Is Luffy just touching the surface of the Gomu Gomu? That's what it's kind of seeming like. Like, the devil fruit is over here. Luffy sees it, can touch it, but he can't necessarily grab his whole hand around it to become whatever he has to be. So I felt like the animators were like, yo, there's still more to go with this transformation. There's still more to deep dive into. That's interesting to me because why? We saw the 𝗁𝐺. They're doing things that Luffy, I wouldn't say has tapped into just yet, but it's getting there. Now we're getting, like, the official color of 𝗠𝐿's awakening. I'm so glad it's purple and black. I just think that purple and black always looks really good together for, like, evil purposes.
Yeah, it does.
And he looked great. He was getting bodied, but he looked great. He looked fast. He looked like, I for a second, I was like, oh, I'm actually glad Luffy's fighting 𝗠𝐿 right now.
Wow.
I was like, yo, this is kind of a dope fight. Like,
Yeah.
I love animation where people are running. And when you show people, like, speed-wise, just being fast, that's, like, sometimes some of the best animation that you could have. It makes you feel like, yo, I'm watching something crazy. So when they started clashing, I think the only thing I had a problem with is that the animators are too loose with hockey. right? Like, Oda's already a problem with hockey. We never know what's actually armament. We never know what's actually conquers. But when they clashed and it went everywhere, I was like, yo, people gonna start saying ʍ𝗀𝘱 got conquers.
Oh my
They
God.
made it specifically a different color. I saw it was like bluish or whatever when I saw him like do his clash or when he first transformed. Like I think y'all noted it was blue.
Yeah.
And like you know how Luffy transformed? It's like red and black going everywhere. His was blue. So like maybe that's what they wanted. They're trying to do to show the difference. To show he's not a conqueror.
Because they had Zolo do conquerors against Kaido and it was yellow. So just like now later on it's green. So just like what are we doing?
There needs to be a consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah, because people are like, yo, Blackbeard got conquers. Law got conquers.
You know what
It's
they
like-
need to do? They need to do a filler episode of them explaining which of these things is conquered on camera.
Yo, but we don't even got that in the manga. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
but like, cool.
Yeah. But I think overall the fight was really good. I loved the silliness. It was warranted. I appreciated it. You know, I loved Luffy just kind of goofing around, and I love the fact that like how much damage they were causing to the entire city. When we first see Luffy going to like the Gear 5, we don't see him going to Gear 5, but we see him and Lucci like in the air and everybody's running, right? But they were legitimately like Dragon Ball Z fighting for a second.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. Like they're so fast, they're so strong, they're going at each other. Luffy's just enjoying himself. He's taking his head, separating it, dodging like that. Like if I was Lucci, I'd be frustrated.
Yeah.
And he was frustrated. It looked really cool seeing him punch into the ground and then punch Lucci in the stomach, and Lucci's like, yo, I need, like I'm bodied right now, bro. Like I'm bleeding. Like blood was coming out of his mouth. I don't know, man. I had a really good time with this episode. I will say that. I thought it was a little hard to understand. It's not that hard to understand, but it was easier to understand in the manga panel of the authority chip system because they placed it all in one shot, where this was like separate.
Yeah.
So I can see where like somebody would get kind of confused and not be able to remember it unless they wrote it down themselves, right? But it was just cool, man. Yeah, I think the whole episode was phenomenal. I think the only two issues was the hockey for me and Usopp's whitewashing.
Yeah.
Oh man, yo.
Yeah, that was really bad.
I don't think it's ever been that blatant to me.
No.
He
Yeah.
was Sanji pale, bro.
Yeah, he was the same color as Sanji. That's why I was just like, you gotta make our black characters black, bro. Like we can't having them be, 2% skim chocolate milk, bro. I need my boys dark, bro. Yo, S-Hawk, S-Snake, S-Bear, S-Shark, all darker than Usopp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, man, like Sebastian said, if the animation is like that, like Lionel said, if the pacing is like that, I'm back into the anime.
Yeah. The pacing was good.
I'm back into the anime for sure.
Yeah, the pacing was
but
actually a lot better.
I'm not expecting it to always be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that. That's unfair. I think that they took a lot of, energy to be like, all right, because this fight is so special, Gear 5 is happening again, we're going to go all out. I understand that part. But if you can touch like 30% maybe of what that episode was, I would be willing to re-pick up the anime from Whole Cake Island that I'm on and try to push through.
Like I feel like they need to like take this episode and use it as a principle for their future episodes. Like this is the template we're going to be using.
I don't think they can, man.
That's the thing too. I don't think they can.
Yeah.
Like we're being greedy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we had a good time.
Yo,
we had a good time watching it. The filler that they did in the episode was great.
Yeah.
And I think not enough people understand what great filler is. They understand what filler is and they be like, yo, just appreciate it. Just be lucky you're getting filler. It's like, no. Give me great filler.
Yeah.
Make it well paced. Make me appreciate why I should watch the anime. Don't be like, yo, because there's filler in it, you should not watch it. No, I watch the anime for music, color, voice acting, emotional depth. I look for all these things that the manga can't provide me because my imagination does. This episode gave me nothing to imagine. It said, yo, it's better than that. And that's what I need fillers to be. When you can't just produce an entire chapter, do things like this.
Yeah.
So, yo, 9.3. You know what? 9.4, bro. I bring it up 1.1, bro. 9.4.